because so much information is compartmentalized. They don't realize the big picture. But many people are waking up very, very quickly, and I know I'm preaching to the choir in that. But it's amazing to see how many people are waking up and questioning everything. Okay? This is our moment. The next several years is our moment. And it really needs to begin now. 2012 is not the end of the world. It isn't going to happen. It's not our destiny. Okay? However, the Earth will be going through some transitions because we will be crossing the galactic plane. And the galactic plane has an intense magnetic gravitational field. There will be changes. It's inevitable. Mr. Green touched on some of that yesterday. Okay, and others have talked about this as well. Okay, it's going to happen. So you need to start thinking about, where do I really want to be? Okay, if it's here, fine. Make the best of it. But create your space of independence. Don't take it for granted any longer. We can't. The whole world is looking at us. The Asians, the Europeans, they can't believe how stupid we are. Gospel, they can't believe how stupid we are. They're like, what's wrong with the Americans? You know? I don't have an answer, do you? You watch TV. What I'd like to do, because I did have some extra time, is I would really love to entertain some questions. If that's all right. Easy ones.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. This is excellent. And I want to address the mentoring suggestion because I think it's actually fascinating. I think that this is coming directly from the Andromedans.
Yes, it is.
That you're getting that you've been in contact with. And mentoring is an interesting way of putting it, okay? If you mentor somebody, you do not rule them. You do not tell them what to do. Okay? That's key. Mm-hmm. And nobody has even suggested this. I think it's fascinating. So what we have here is the notion that you can be in contact with beings that can help teach you. Now, this is going on. This is going on. I'm aware of it. Camelot is aware of it. By God, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that. There is mentoring going on. But you do have to ask for that to happen. And you have to be as fully conscious in the process and as responsible and have that ability. You cannot sit there and ask them to do for you. It's not what it's about. And so I would love it if you would talk about, because you obviously have been mentored. So who better to teach us what does that look like? How is the interaction with you? Just describe, and I know that you have maybe talked to some degree, but in your interactions, if you could discuss some of the ways they have mentored you to this point.
Okay. Know that my mentoring has gone on with times that I have literally been kicking and screaming. The biggest portion of the mentoring has really been, why do I believe things? And what is it that I believe? So a lot of times the question will come, I will ask a question or I will have a perspective, and they will immediately come back and say, well, why do you believe that? You know, what is your process of believing that that's true? And, for example, religions. It was one of the biggest things I had when I was a kid. And it was an issue that my father brought up to me as well when I told him about this. We have formed perceptions of reality that are not based in reality. They're only based on perception. Now, in accepting that perception as reality, what we do is we reinforce that illusion. And that's what we have done on earth, is we have reinforced the illusion about who we are. About our strengths, about our power, about how we're supposed to live on the earth, about being stuck on the earth, about how we are supposed to raise our children. We have bought into these perceptions. The hardest things were to really look at myself. And this is really where the work is, and it's always with yourself. The most difficult work has probably been for me in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Questions like, well, who am I? They don't answer it. They don't say, well, you're this and this and this. But what they do is they have guided me to what it is who it is that I want to be. The first was understanding that you are not just a physicality. That's the first thing to grasp. You are not a physicality. And just like some of the speakers said yesterday, I believe it was Mr. Green who talked about, there is a soul and it's 22 grams. I think they've measured that in body weight. That is really who you are. And connecting to who that person really is, what that essence is all about, you begin to realize, oh my God, I am not at all who I thought I was. And I'm purposely being vague because I don't necessarily want to tell you who I am, other than to say that who I am here on earth in this lifetime and the mistakes that I have made, on some level I knew better not to make those mistakes. Okay? But we do. We experiment. We create. As far as the meaning of life, they would never tell me what that was exactly. All they would say, it just is, you are creating your own adventure. Okay? So again, the responsibility is on me. As far as mentoring, to want to talk and to speak, the idea was to just keep it very, very simple. To just share their perspectives and let the people do whatever they wanted with it. And it doesn't matter whether anyone believes it or not. People know truth. People know bullshit. Eventually it all comes to the surface. It has to. Because all of you are just like me. You all know better. You know what's real. It's just a question of detaching ourselves from our addiction to physicality. And that's what it is now. It's become an addiction because the focus is on the physicality. We're not objective anymore. As a soul, when you have an out-of-body experience and you detach from your physical form, you are completely objective. You have a 360-degree peripheral view. Okay? And that's because you're objective. You're not addicted. You're not stuck in the body or addicted to the body. And that's the part that they have been working on with me the most, is to actually feel and know that essence of myself as much as possible. So when we talk about mentoring, the mentoring